The entire world and at a level and at a direction I never thought even possible. Never saw anything like this before in my life, and I still can't get over it. And I tell you every single day that very idea. What we are seeing right now is absolutely transformational. It is at a level that I never thought possible, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to grasp what is happening, dear friends. Well, first of all, I say welcome. Welcome to all of you. Welcome, dear friends. Welcome, fellow patriots. Welcome those of you who are sentient and aware of what's happening. This is like nothing else. And the reason why is because of you. Nobody does what we do. Nobody handles it the way we do. That's the way it is. This, my friends, is what we call Lionel Nation. And I welcome you. A celebration of America, my friends, and the values of our beloved republic. We are a civilian-based and citizen intel gathering operation. Think of it as a citizen grand jury and a relentless force for uncovering the naked truth. We are privy to subject matter that most Americans, frankly, will never see or even imagine, much less comprehend. We refuse to be blindfolded by the globalist proxy narrative. We are an alternative news service. We are unapologetic. We are steadfast. We are committed to a robust, no holds barred examination of reality. This is not just reportage. This is not left and right. It's a mission. And this is Lionel Nation. And we welcome you, dear friends. Let's start off with the biggest story, which is this is the one that will end up with people in prison, namely Stacey Abrams. This is gotcha loud and clear. This is the most incredible story. Stacey Abrams, Biden's EPA funneling $2 billion into a Stacey Abrams slush fund. Trump administration and DOGE and Lee Zeldin has uncovered it. It is unbelievable. The corruption of the radical left knows no bounds, my friend. And now, thanks to the fearless efforts of President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, we've exposed yet another outrageous scandal. The Biden administration's Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and we're learning, it doesn't matter where these agencies come from, they're still criminally involved. They secretly funneled $2 billion into a shady, barely existent nonprofit directly tied and run to failed Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams. This is a group of hers with virtually no revenue, no track record, and no legitimate reason to handle billions in taxpayer money. This was all part of a $20 billion slush fund parked at Citibank right before Biden left office, effectively laundering taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars, for their radical green agenda, or at least that's what they say. But guess what? They got caught. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin and the DOGE team are now unraveling this entire fraudulent scheme, and the Democrats are shiting bricks. This isn't just corruption. It's theft. It's racketeering. It is the highest form of criminal complicity around. American people and the Trump administration were putting an end to this. This is the stuff that gets people indicted. This is the stuff that gets people crushed. And that's why, my friends, this coming Saturday night, we're going to be talking about this at the cutting room. You're going to be there? You're going to join us this coming Saturday night. the 22nd. Tickets are available. Go to the little description here on the YouTube. You can go to you can see my pinned X account. You go to lionelmedia.com. My friends, this is what we're talking about. We are so winning. So get ready. I've got stories. I've got reports for you this morning that are going to blow your mind. But first, this. My friend, listen closely. The world is unraveling. Disaster doesn't wait. Food shortages, power outages, chaos. They're not if, they're when. Are you ready to survive? Your life and your family's life depends on it. And listen to me carefully. It depends upon what you do now. Introducing the 3-month emergency food supply from preparedwithlionel.com. This isn't just food, it's your lifeline. Over 2,000 calories a day, fuel designed for disaster, packed with 100% of the 12 essential vitamins and minerals to keep you strong when the world is falling apart. Fortified for survival mode because nutrition isn't optional in a crisis. It's critical. Sealed in rugged, heavy-duty 4-layer pouches locked inside water-resistant buckets. This is gear built to outlast the chaos. Stored for up to 25 years. Get it, forget it, and know it's there when the unthinkable strikes. 22 food and drink varieties, because monotony can break your spirit when everything else is broken. Now, our food scientists test relentlessly trusted quality so you don't gamble with your life. Right now, $100 off. So act now. But this deal won't wait. Disaster won't wait. The clock is ticking. Go to preparedwithlionel.com. Secure your 3-month emergency food supply right now. Don't hope for rescue. Prepare to survive. Preparewithlionel.com. Do it now because tomorrow might be too late. Thank you so much to our dear friend Howie Brown. You've got a lovely daughter. Howie gifted 5 Lionel Nation memberships. Thank you, Howie, for that. You're a good man, a good soul. Do you understand this incredible $22 billion? And what this shows you is these folks don't care. They don't care about what they're doing. They don't care about following the law. They don't care about anything. They don't care about getting caught. Because for the longest time they've said, you don't understand. We don't get caught. We don't worry about this. This isn't something that we care about. You don't understand this. And they think this. They think they're invisible. Listen to what I am saying. They are like rats caught in a corner. They are freaking out. And they get dangerous. Okay. Now that's just a part of it. Next, DOGE uncovers 4 million government credit cards being used like a Democratic slush fund. President Trump's commitment to draining the swamp just exposed another grotesque abuse of power by the previous administration. DOGE has now uncovered 4 million government credit cards. 4 million floating around federal agencies, many of which were being abused for personal luxury expenses, lavish travel, and outright criminal fraud. These cards were practically treated as Democrat ATM machines, siphoning billions of taxpayer dollars into bureaucratic black holes. Democrats who have spent decades lecturing Americans about fiscal responsibility were handed out credit cards like candy, letting unelected bureaucrats charge whatever they wanted, while hardworking Americans like you struggled with inflation, skyrocketing costs. But under Trump, the party is over. Literally, the party and the Democratic Party is over. DOGE is shutting this fraud down. And the swamp creatures who thought they could get away with it are finally getting what they deserve. It's only been 31 days, right? 31 days. 31 days. 31 days. Ricardo says, who do we owe? Who do we owe 37 trillion? Ourselves, the Treasury, families who own the Federal Reserve Bank? That's a great question, a great point. This deficit is to whom we owe ourselves. Raul Rodriguez says Trump and team are bulldozing through the BS. So true, my friend. So true. Listen, we thought it was possible. We thought it was good. We you know what I mean? We thought, okay, never thought it'd be like this. Never. He just started. This is incredible. No wonder they're going mad after Elon. Anything, stop this. But they're not addressing it. They're not saying it's not true. They're doing everything to impugn and to impeach the president, perhaps literally. Good luck this time. How about this? Yale scientists confirm COVID vaccination linked to rare, dangerous syndrome. Trump was right again. For years, the radical left mocked and silenced and censored anyone who dared to question the reckless, rushed COVID vaccine, untested. This is not anti-vax. It's about a particular, dare I say, a particular vaccine that we're speaking of. Let me make sure I get back here. And there we go there. And then we go there and there. Terrific. Listen to how they're going to conflate this. They're going to say, oh, you're anti-vax. No. You know, there's these things called trials. You test everything. How do you test drive a car? You test drive a toaster before you release it. I mean, this is axiomatic, all right? But now, Yale scientists, that's right, the same Ivy League elites who the Democrats worship, have confirmed what Trump supporters have been saying all along. The COVID shot, according to them, is linked to a rare but alarming syndrome, but was never properly studied or disclosed to the American public. And the Biden administration and its big pharma allies shoved these shots down everyone's throats, forced mandates, destroyed careers, and lied about the risk. And now they're finally being exposed. While leftists continue to scream, trust the science, for reasons I don't understand. They don't trust the science as to when human life begins. They don't trust the science as to what gender is. It doesn't matter. Real scientists are proving that Trump and his supporters were right all along. It's time for accountability. And the radical vaccine pushers of all time, remember, this is not, you got to keep saying this. This is not anti-vax. It's not. Never has been. Let me give you an example of something. The other day, somebody asked me a question. And the question was, do you believe in such and such? And I said, no. I said, no. When you say you don't believe in something, that means that you're saying it doesn't exist or it's fraudulent. I said, no, I didn't say that. If I said to you, do you like crickets? You know, those little chewy, I think Oaxaca, the Mexicans, do you like crickets? I would say, no. Have you ever had them? No. You said you don't like them. I don't like them. How could I like them? I've never tried them. Do you speak French? No. Doesn't mean I don't like it. So when you say you don't like something, you don't care for something, you don't believe in something, it doesn't mean you're saying it doesn't exist. You're saying, I don't have enough evidence of it now. Do you believe in Judaism? No. Judaism. We always say Judaism. I don't know why. It's Judaism. Like Nazism, not Nazism. It's not zoology, it's zoology. And anyway, do you believe in Judaism? No. Oh, you're saying it's not true? No, I don't believe in it. I don't understand it. I don't follow it. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in Allah. So understand that not believing in something, not adopting something, not liking something may mean you know nothing about it. You ask me, do you love this woman? No. What's wrong with her? I didn't say anything. You asked me if I love her. I don't even know her. Well, why didn't you say that? You didn't ask me that. You asked me if I loved her. The answer is no. You see, so I hate to be definitional, but we're going to have to do this. And whenever you bring this up, remember, they're going to tie you down. They're going to say, oh, you're against. And believe me, cut them off at the pass. Tell them, I'm not saying I'm not anti-vax at all. No, nobody's saying that. You honestly believe, does anybody honestly believe that that immunization doesn't exist? No, nobody is saying that. Hear what I'm saying? Language means something. That's why you're not a conspiracy theorist, because you've never, ever mentioned anything about whether it's a conspiracy or a single actor or just a mere partnership. Here we go. This is driving these people crazy. Zelensky and his wife posed for Vogue magazine while Ukraine burns, and Musk calls it out. And as Ukrainian soldiers and civilians suffer the consequences of their corrupt leadership, Zelensky and his wife, Olena, found time to pose for Vogue magazine. Now, this is, I think, an older picture, but it showcased, again, their celebrity-style leadership while their country continues to beg for the U.S. for billions in taxpayer aid. And the hypocrisy is staggering. And Elon Musk called him out, exposing how this glossy photo shoot reeked of elite privilege and globalist propaganda, while Americans continue to be fleeced in the name of protecting democracy. Meanwhile, Trump continues to push for transparency and peace, warning Zelensky that the war must end or Ukraine will face total ruin. The left, of course, loses its mind whenever Trump tells the truth about Ukraine. But here's the reality. Americans are tired of bankrolling a corrupt regime while being told to sacrifice their own economy, their own security, and their own future. Not only that, he's a thug, he's a despot, he's a dictator. And I don't know what this is. This is one of these weirdest things. Let me tell you a side issue, a little time out here. I've always been fascinated by fads. And I have found, I have told you that I have said repeatedly that the proliferation of tattoos is an example of the insanity that human beings exhibit. Insanity. I think they are the ugliest thing you can imagine. Knuckles, necks, eyes. It's just, it's a free country. It's a free country. There was a case, who was it, years ago? I think it was Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker was a comedian who said something to the effect, he says, some people, even with dark skin, whether they're black or they're Latino or Punjabi or whatever it is, but their skin is so dark you can't even see the tattoo. And he said it was like skywriting at night. And I thought that was a fascinating, perfect analogy. There are people who have, I can't even see it. Doesn't matter. What? It'd be like somebody with freckles tattooing. Anyway, so what I realized was that people will sometimes do things and they want to be a part of everything. They want to be a part of the scene. They want to be a part of the gig. Do you understand what I'm saying? They want to be a part of the gig. They want to wear the right clothes and the right. I know people who will spend $8,000, $10,000, $20,000 on a handbag so they can show people it's a handbag and it's worth $8,000. Why? Because people want to be included. It's what Americans do. What people do everywhere. It's not just America. Whatever is the fad. It used to be, whether it's remember when BMWs were big and then Range Rovers? Remember during adoption, it was Russian kids and then it was Chinese kids. Whatever is the fad. I love to watch fads. During COVID, it was, and we still see it. By the way, go to an airport and see people in pajamas and slippers. It's a fad. People will change their behavior to comply. Okay, here comes the radical left. The radical left were told this. These are the Trump people. Okay. These are the Republicans. Okay. You're a whatever it is. You're a lefty. Okay. You're going to put this sign on your front yard, Black Lives Matter, so that when marauding hordes of BLM Antifas come through, maybe we hope they'll see this sign and not tear your house up. You got that? So put that BLM thing. Got that? Good. Now here's put this other one too. This is a gay whatever flag. Put that up there. Why? Because that's where we are. Okay, you got it? Why? Because they're not. Okay, I got it. What else should I do? All right. Put up trust the science. What science? Well, we don't really go into it. Certain science. Certain science. The cool people, the elite science. You are going to be an absolute fastidious adherent to the notion of inoculation and vaccines. Why? I don't know. It's part of who you are. You're going to do this. You got it? Good. You're going to also love tattooing. And this is for everybody, by the way. Tattoos are hip. Different things. And you are going to love Ukraine. Where's Ukraine? It doesn't matter. I saw somebody one time who actually had the flag upside down. Had yellow at the top, blue. Blue was at the top for Ukraine, blue skies. They had no idea. They had no idea. They just love Ukraine. They can be, whether it's in the left more than the right. Put it this way. The right, and I'm going to use these terms just for the purposes of shortcut. The right is also susceptible to various symbology and semiotics, things like the flag, America, you know what I mean? So this is what we're dealing with. So just understand, my friends, there are people who are rabid still about vaccines and they have no idea why. Since when does testing? I don't get this. Remember Gardasil? Remember Rick Perry? Remember the HPV vaccine? HPV, hepatitis? You're giving this to infants? Why? I don't know. Why? Because that's what they tell me I'm supposed to do. For Farscape, 0G became a member. Thank you so much. Spandex says the next rage, branding with red hot pokers. Yes. That's all. That was very big in black fraternities. I think it was Omega Psi Phi. One of my best pals, one of my partners years ago, had I think it was Omega Psi Phi. You could see the brand, the keloiding through his shirt. You see his big Omega. It was interesting. How about this now? Next, Trump orders the audit of U.S. gold reserves. Ask one of your lefty friends. You got a problem with that? What is the government hiding? And ask them, how do they know the gold has not been hypothecated or pledged elsewhere? You know, great gold reserves. You know, well, the thing is, this is the most important thing. Like I endorse wonderful Noble Gold, Colin Plume, my dear friend. He has your gold. He stores it. It's yours. He stores it. It's kind of hypothecated. It's not really pledged, but it's not his. It's yours. You know what I mean? So who owns this just because you're possessing it? So President Trump isn't taking any chances when it comes to protecting America's wealth. Nope. Today he announced, and listen to this, today he announced that he will personally visit Fort Knox to verify whether the nation's gold reserves are still intact, because something that hasn't most people don't know, it hasn't been audited since 1974. And this move has ignited speculation over whether the gold has been compromised, misplaced, hypothecated, stolen, whether there's straw. Can you drill down into it? Kind of like Parmesan cheese. You know, when you go on. My great friend David Greco at Mike's Deli in Arthur Avenue, he has these wheels, and you can like dig into with these things. You can dig. Is it gold? What is it? Was it stolen by the same deep state bureaucrats who have been caught lying to the American people and you time after time? And guess who's right there with him? Elon Musk, who has demanded full transparency over the government's handling of assets. You see, Democrats are losing their minds over this. They have no idea because they hate accountability. They hate fear. They hate Trump winning. You got to understand what this is really about. They don't want Trump, us, the Republicans, whatever you want to call these. It has nothing to do with getting to the bottom of anything. But President Trump is once again putting America first. It's not just a slogan. Making sure our wealth is real, protected, and accounted for. Anybody got a problem with that one? Does anyone have any problem with that? I don't understand why. I will never understand why. Pilgrim Media says, top of the morning, Mr. L, riveting subjects. Indeed, they are riveting because they're real. And I want you to hear this, but in a way, I think, Pilgrim, that Americans need to know. Not that glossy cable stuff. Remember Gonzalo Lira. Gonzalo Lira. Killed by Zelensky. Beaten. We're remembering Gonzalo Lira. Another dark stain on Ukraine's so-called democracy. American journalist Gonzalo Lira. I watched him all the time. And I kept thinking to myself, get out of there. Get out of there. They're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. Gonzalo Lira, he was so... I used to watch him, oh my God, all the time. And I thought, I felt like I knew him, and he'd make his coffee, and then he would, do the cigarettes. He was 55 years old, killed in 2024, January 12th. And we're never going to get to the bottom of this. And they told him flat out, we're going to kill you. And we watched this. And when he said, I need help from my country. Nope. He was Chilean, American. He's a filmmaker. He was a interesting guy. I loved him. But they killed him. Zelensky killed him, beat him to death, and killed him. And he said it, and you can see right now. How many of you remember this? Yeah, right. He coached the red pill thing. I don't know about dating, but good luck with that. He walked around. He basically was telling you that everything that Zelensky was saying was a lie, that the Russians were winning. And he died in Ukrainian custody after being beaten and killed and after criticizing Zelensky. This is the kind of tyranny that President Trump warned us about. But Biden and his Democrats, they don't give a damn about that. They continue to pump billions of dollars and still do it, and we do it, well, used to, into a corrupt government that silences journalists, jails dissenters, cancels elections. Have you heard about Christians? Good luck in Ukraine. How about elections? No such thing. What did Trump say? He's got, a 4% popularity rating? Canceled elections? He's a bum. He's a thug. We're talking about Zelensky. He's a bum. He's a thug. He's a crook. He's a despot. He's a dictator. Get him out. Look who we... And this was nothing but the chance to go after. This is a Russophobic NATO move against Russia because they got a hard-on for Russia. That's it. And the enemy of my enemy and all that stuff. Elon Musk is calling it like it is, putting the blame squarely on Zelensky for what many people believe to be a state-sanctioned assassination of an American citizen. Remember, God bless Tucker Carlson, when Gonzalo's father was begging, help us, help me get my son back. You think they would have said, here, take him, get him out of here. They didn't care. You know, somebody said, do what you want with him, shut him up. Teach these people a lesson. These are the same people who arrested and who tortured and who shut from civilization American citizens on January 6th, who basically, their big crime, what was it? I don't think they got a parade permit. If I recall it correctly. It was trespassing. This is who these people are. The mainstream media, predictably, is ignoring this. You'll never hear this. You'll never hear Rachel Maddow and the lefties. And the lefties of old, the left, would have been all over him. You know, kind of like a Cesar Chavez, Leonard Peltier. But Gonzalo, it exposes their beloved Ukrainian narrative is a fraud. But the American people see right through the lies. And President Trump is leading the charge to stop the endless war funding once and for all. It's absolutely insane, my friends. Absolutely insane. And what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be doing a couple of things as I go into it. But first, I want to remind you, let me just stop and say thank you very much for always supporting us, always being a part of what we do, always being a part of this. It means so, so much to us. But now, this very, very, very critical message. Listen to me. Are you drowning in debt? You're not alone. New reports show the average person is buried under $8,674 in credit card debt, with total consumer debt soaring to a staggering $104,215, including mortgages, auto loans, student loans, and credit cards. It's a financial crisis, and without a real solution, many will keep spiraling deeper. That's why I want to introduce you to a powerful secret weapon that has helped so many regain control. They specialize in consolidating all your debts into one manageable monthly payment and even negotiate a settlement so that you can pay less than you actually owe. Think about this. They've already settled over $275 million in debt. Think about that. Helping people break free in an average of just 28 months. I've personally recommended their services to friends and clients who needed a way out, and now I'm bringing it straight to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. So don't wait. Book a free consultation today, right now, at nodebtwithlionel.com. That's nodebtwithlionel.com. The link is right under the title here. It's time to take back control of your finances. Act now. Get out of debt and start living the life you deserve. So don't let them forget Gonzalo Lira. Remember that. Remember Gonzalo Lira. Remind them. Go on social media. Go on X. Go on whatever you want. And remind people. Ask people, what are you going to be doing about this? What? Nothing. It's like we live in two different worlds. Two completely different, separated worlds that just have nothing to do with each other. But it's over with. And remember, they're freaking out. How about this Christian massacre in Congo? Nobody talks about the... I'm always told, don't be anti-Semitic. Don't be anti-Semitic. Don't be anti-Semitic. I'm not anti-Semitic. Don't be anti-Semitic. I'm talking about, don't be anti-Semitic. What about anti-Christian? Anti-Christian. And who? I'm sorry, what? Anti-Christian, like with Zelensky. Ask how Christians are doing there. He has no problem with Stepan Bandera folks and right sector and Azov Battalion and the neo-Nazis. But Christians, forget it. In a horrifying act of terrorism, at least 70 Christians were beheaded. Inside a church in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, murdered by the ISIS-linked Allied Democratic Forces, the ADF. And yet, the mainstream media refused to cover this tragedy with even a fraction of the urgency it gives to lesser issues. Why? Because Christian persecution doesn't fit the leftist narrative. It doesn't fit the agenda. If this had been any other group, the Democrats and the media would be screaming about it. If this was trans folks, LGBTQIA, whatever, whoever it was, you never hear the end of it. But when Christians are slaughtered, silence. President Trump has been one of the few leaders to call out this double standard, vowing to protect religious freedom worldwide. And it's time, my friends, it's time for real justice. And the leftist globalists must be held accountable for their complicity in covering up Christian persecution. Do you understand this? This is, I hate hypocrisy. I want there to be consistency. Why? Why? It's so funny. You will always hear anti-Semitism, but nothing about, well, what about the Muslims? What about them? Well, but I've heard you say terrible things about people in Palestine. But you see what I'm saying? And Christians, forget it. I've been speaking to you for 30, 35 minutes. 35 minutes. See what you know right now? But do you know what in the how do I say this? Do you understand that it's the flavor, it's the tenor. It's not, how do I say it? It's not just I'm giving you the information. I'm telling you what it means. Does that make any sense? I'm not trying to worry about hair and makeup. I'm trying to tell you the truth. I want you to go out and I want you to be riveted and pissed off and angered by this. President Donald Trump has once again exposed the reality. The mainstream, used to be the sock puppet media, the proxy media, refused to acknowledge. I'm going to say it again. Zelensky is nothing more than a dictator, clinging to power without elections. Trump's statement, listen to this, calling him a dictator without elections, sent shockwaves through the globalist establishment, which spent years funneling billions of your money, of your dollars, billions into Ukraine. Oh my God. It's just incredible. Billions in Ukraine, while conveniently ignoring the fact that democracy in the country, or whatever you want to call it, democracy, has been indefinitely suspended. How does that work? How does that one figure out? The radical left continues to push its fake narrative about Ukraine's so-called democracy while conveniently excusing the fact that Zelensky, that murderer, the one who killed Gonzalo Lira, postponed elections indefinitely under the guise of war. And the truth is simple. Ukraine has become a corrupt money pit with your money. And Trump's call for an end to the war is only the path towards stability. This, the establishment and the Democrats who have poured endless funds into Zelensky's war machine, are terrified of Trump, terrified of him exposing their racket. They don't know what to do. And by the way, let me just tell you something. I here as a New Yorker, why I love this man. See, I never found myself in the position before of really disliking political opposition. I mean, I would always disagree with them, but I never really I never got angry with them. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Charlie Calais says Zelensky confiscated churches' property and their priceless artifacts. I know. You're absolutely right. He is a thug, my friend. He is a thug of the worst order. Let me also tell you, I need, my friend, 1,000 likes today. I'm sorry to say this. I got to say this to you. We're making such incredible headway. People are loving what we're doing. It's incredible. And I also need all of you to subscribe. I'm not going to browbeat you with this, but the subscriptions and the likes send us out into another world. And I want to compete with those other people, because all I want people to do is arm them with the facts, a little bit of a kind of make critical thinking kind of fun again, and let them know this is what we're doing. So let me just ask you, let me remind you, please, thank you for subscribing to Lionel Nation. Thank you. If you haven't, do it now. I got this thing one time that said 87% of the people who watch you don't subscribe. I say, what? Well, why are they watching? I don't know. They just, and we live in a world of metrics. That's our gold, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you immensely. That's all I want to say. You're incredible yourself. So anyway, as a New Yorker, in a massive win for the hardworking people of New York, my beloved city that I love, President Donald J. Trump has terminated the radical left's oppressive congestion pricing plan, brought to you by Salazzo Cuomo. Not Kathy Hochul, this dingbat, this titmouse from upstate. No. Cuomo and that fake weight idiot brother of his, what's his name? You know, Chris, Fredo. I despise these people. I despise these people. Remember the story about this is one of the best stories about Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo was such a drool. When he married, who was it? Kennedy, one of the Kennedys. He goes, "Oh, this is great. This is going to be a merger of the great dynasty." Kennedys, they're onto themselves. So they looked at him like, "Who the hell are you? You got to work your way into this group, my friend." So anyway, they were at, and they kind of laughed at him. So they were at a Kennedy come, and I think it was the brother. Somebody died. I think it was one of the Kennedy brothers who hit a tree, kind of like a Sonny Bono, kind of did a George of the Jungle. You know, watch out for that tree. Sad, but died, or one of them, or overdose, or it was one of them. There's so many deaths. It's so tragic. The family is just. So anyway, they were all huddled together, and they go into death mode. The Kennedys, there's one thing they know. They've done this drill. Sadly, they know how to do it. And the one thing they do is they say, nobody talks to the press. Well, and the story is, Andrew Salazzo was there, and he's watching this for the first time, and he's looking at the gates, and there's CNN and all these people. But all the Kennedys are inside. They're not saying anything, because they're in mourning. All of a sudden, somebody says, "Hey, look at this." And it was Salazzo. He was down there. He made his way down, and he's talking on behalf of the family. And they said, "Oh, no, no, no." They couldn't stand this guy because he's an idiot. And he grabs women, and he's a predator. Let me explain something to you. Maybe it's been a long time since you've been doing this. Any man who puts his hands on a woman, especially a younger woman who could be your daughter, who works for you, who's trying to make her way up the ladder, and you're rubbing her, this is battery. It shows predation. Here's the best part. If you really wanted, you probably could get whatever it is you're looking for just by being a gentleman. Just by maybe showing, oh, I don't know, what's this word? Oh, yeah, seduction. But no, he said, I don't want to do this. Why? Because I'm an ugly pig. I look like a gargoyle. I don't want that. I want to invade her. I want to see that look. I want, when I feel her arm, I want to feel her tense up. I like that. I like the invasion of the space. I like the fact that I am engaged in predation. I want her to fear me. I get off on that. That's what these people do. And it may not go beyond that, but it's a sickness. And that's what he does. It's a little man, a child, a little boy who never got on with women, never understood it, never figured out, doesn't feel worthy, doesn't feel competitive, doesn't feel handsome or attractive. The only way they get off on this is not because of any kind of a quid pro quo. They don't care whether anybody likes them because nobody has. They're not used to that. They're not used to that. Anybody, any man who enjoys predation, touching them, rubbing them, anybody who's smart would make a woman, if you're interested, make them beg for you to touch them, not go up and grab them. That's who this sick bastard is. I hate these people. And maybe it's because of Mrs. Ellen. I got to hear what happens to girls, and all the time I'm thinking, Jesus, God, these people are so sick. It's not just, and this, I'm not saying he's a trafficker or anything, but it's this mentality that these men have. I don't understand it. Grabbing people, freaking them out, getting real close to them. What are you doing? That's him. And that's the same guy who decided he's going to take all these old people in retirement homes and convalescent centers and put people with COVID. Now, COVID is real. You may not think your version of it was something. Your PCR may have been positive, but there were people who died. And I know people whose oxygen levels went to nothing because of it. It's real. Don't give me this business about, no, it doesn't exist. Oh, no, it exists. Oh, no. So he put people with COVID into these homes and killed, I don't even know how many old people. That's Andrew Cuomo, this sick sexual predator, this deviant, this murderer, and that stupid retard brother of his trying his best to a guy who does fake weights and told everybody how I don't go out during COVID. This is what we're dealing with. We've got to crush these people. We've got to make them, we've got to put them in the category of whatever happened to. Anybody know whatever happened to Andrew Cuomo? I don't know. I'm not sure. Pilgrim says, whose version of history will survive in 100 years? Whoever writes the history. Charles says the Kennedy hopes of power ended with John Jr. They're living in it ended with USAID being cut off. They were getting it too. Who was it getting the USAID money? Who wasn't? That's what I want to know. Let me tell you something. These people, they make me sick. Oh, when I hear about Mario Cuomo, he was so eloquent. He's the biggest bullshit artist. What are you talking about? Remember when it was Andrew? Remember, you know this. Ed Koch was gay. Ed Koch wouldn't admit it. And when they were running for governor, Koch was running against Cuomo for governor. They had these signs all over New York. Vote for Cuomo, not the homo. That was huge. That was Andrew. And Koch knew it. Koch knew it. So these Democrats with their goddamn cash grabs, I despise them. So this toll system, before I got off on this toll system cooked up by him and the radical bureaucrats and these green energy. It was never about green energy. Green energy is an excuse. It's an excuse. They don't give a shit about green energy. It was a blatant attack on the middle class, aiming to charge drivers outrageous fees just for entering Manhattan, as they say. And the radical left tried to disguise this as a climate initiative. But in reality, it was another shameless attempt to drain the pockets of everyday Americans. And this dingbat titmouse jadrul, Kathy Hochul, the governor, Kathy Hochul with her Kathy, meeting with Al Sharpton, that rat bastard, that FBI informant, this absolute shill, con, flim, flam artist, racial arsonist, Al Sharpton, complete, virtually he's illiterate, but he's a very smart guy when he talks to you. Do you ever see him read a prompter? Kathy Hochul, one of the left's loyal foot soldiers, she's throwing a tantrum, calling Trump's move an overreach and threatening legal action. I got your legal action right here. So this, but no amount of leftist outrage can change the fact that President Trump just delivered a massive win for American workers, proving once again that he stands with the people, not the corrupt elites. You got that? Gene Crane says, Lyra exposed the jab dangers. I remember he started each show about the nurse who fainted on TV. After getting the jab, he would say, "Where is? Hit the like button, please." Indeed. Remember when he said, I think it was, he started his show, you are so correct. He started his show by saying, "Where is somebody?" So that he, instead of you saying, "Am I coming in?" people would say, "I heard you," but he would do this. Oh, he was in many respects crazy. But that's what heroes are. Heroes are crazy. And he's a hero. And we're never going to let him be forgotten, ever. And speaking of heroes, President Donald Trump and Elon Musk, one of the biggest tax, this kills me, teaming up for one of the biggest tax relief initiatives in modern history, the DOGE dividend. This revolutionary plan would return a portion of government savings, your money, directly to hardworking American taxpayers, your money, while simultaneously reducing the national debt. while radical leftists are clutching their pearls and their panties are in a wad and screaming and yelling at the mere thought of Americans keeping more of their money. That means it doesn't go to them. In fact, many of them don't even understand you're going to be getting the money too, schmuck. But they're just told, just like the tattoo, here's my arm. Can you put ink on it? And by the way, time out. Wait until you find out what all that heavy ink and the cancer rates are going to be going up. Nobody ever intended for you to put 12 gallons of ink in your skin. A little here and there. Watch what happens. And these idiots with the sleeves, where's this ink? Stupid. And you can't get it off. You're stuck with this, Einstein, for the rest of your life. You got this thing. And when your boobs are sagging and your ass is dragging and whatever it was that said something, it comes out like, what does that say? Born to what? I don't know. Let me tell you something, my friends. The older you got, you realize something. Gravity's a bitch, right, ladies? You got stuff hanging. It's like, what is this? All of a sudden, people say, what are these bingo wings? What the hell is this? All of a sudden, it's the way it goes, my friends. Anyway, Trump and Musk are focused right now on economic efficiency, and people are going to be getting $5,000 back. And some estimates suggest these refund checks could get as high as $5,000 per taxpayer, though the final amount is yet to be determined. Now, of course, as I said before, the Democrats, who thrive on this is their money, they're going berserk. They're going crazy, screaming and yelling about it. The radical left fears one thing above all. One thing. Trump proving that government can work for the people, not the elites. They hate this. I know, but wait, there's more. The days of illegal immigrants living off hardworking American taxpayers are officially over. On February the 19th, President Donald Trump signed an executive order ending all federal taxpayer-funded benefits for undocumented migrants, aka illegal aliens, marking, my friends, a long overdue correction to the reckless policies of the Biden administration. Under that son of a, illegals were handed free health care, food, housing, while you, American citizens, suffered under skyrocketing inflation, job losses. Nobody cared about you. But that ends right now, my friend. Trump's order mandates a federal review to ensure no taxpayer money is funneled to illegal aliens, to non-citizens, redirecting resources to American citizens. It's called America First, where they belong. And naturally, of course, you know it, the radical left is losing its mind. There's no more mind for them to lose. They're screeching and yelling about inhumanity while they simultaneously ignore the suffering of struggling American families, Americans like us. But President Trump is undeterred. He was elected to put America first, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he is loving this. He loves this more than anything you can imagine. It's beautiful. Ricardo says several peeps were complaining Donald J. Trump is taking too much time to fix things. What? It's been 31 days. He just got into office. I like this. And his team was delayed and harassed by Congress. 113 years of corruption takes more than a week to fix. Absolutely. Remember, when somebody that you know says something stupid, say, interesting, and move on. Who cares what they say? I don't care. My friend, for years, here's another one. USAID has masqueraded as an aid organization under that Pops Biden and what's her name, Numbnuts. It became nothing more than some progressive radical left slush fund, some piggy bank, some bankrolling radical left nonsense, and basically just paying off all of their friends. And the agency, which has been caught funding Marxist DEI privilege walks and other extremist indoctrination programs, is now facing scrutiny from the Trump administration. The sheer scale of the corruption and waste under Biden's USAID is mind-blowing, breathtaking, it's staggering. Millions funneled to activist groups and no accounting, rather than actual humanitarian aid. While Americans struggle to afford groceries and just living, Biden's pals were busy using your taxpayer dollars, yours, to fund radical gender studies and climate propaganda. And remember, it goes to them. That they even F the members who believe this is where it was going. It was going to them. There's no climate. No, they don't care about climate. That's the excuse. Climate. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Ukraine, whatever. And non-gender, sure, yeah. Just give me the money. Whatever you want it. Call it whatever you want. Just give it to me. Call it. I don't care. I'll take it. Give me the climate money. Give me the gender money. Okay, I got it. But those days are over. I mean, it's done. Trump's team is poised to dismantle these corrupt schemes, restore fiscal responsibility, transparency, everything else. And then yet, here's another one. And then yet another example of Democratic priorities being wildly out of touch with reality. The Senate is now pushing forward with a plan to fund Ukraine through 2030. They still don't get it. These are Republicans. While American cities crumble in non-existent infrastructure, led by establishment lunatics like Lindsey Graham and John Thune, this budget resolution has just ignited backlash from America First patriots, us who demand accountability. No! Are you listening? Thanks to DOGE, they've now called for an audit of all aid sent to Ukraine, a move that has really pissed these people off. It has exposed the absolute lack of oversight. And President Trump has made it clear that he opposes unlimited funding to Ukraine without ensuring America's interests come first. Got that, Lindsey? I never trusted this guy. Oh my God. Closeted and cosseted. Who is this guy? He wants to give everything to Ukraine, everything to Israel. What are you doing? Why are we killing all these people? Remember that? The radical left and their neocon allies and the war profiteers, these death ghouls, they would rather continue their foreign boondoggles than securing our own border. This battle is yet another reminder of why President Trump's America First agenda is essential. And one of the most ambitious shakeups of federal bureaucracy in modern history. President Trump has set his sights on abolishing, are you ready? Drum roll, Larry, drum roll, the IRS. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick confirmed, my friends, confirmed that Trump's administration is pushing forward with plans to replace the IRS with an external revenue service, ensuring foreign entities contribute their fair share rather than continuing to bleed dry the American taxpayer. You see, the IRS has long been a weaponized tool of the radical left. They have held us hostage, targeting conservatives and conservative groups while giving free passes to Democratic elites. By dismantling the IRS, President Trump is delivering on his promise to return power to the people, my friends. Expect the left to go into full-blown panic mode over this, as their grip on the taxation system is just... And meanwhile, the radical left's unhinged, what would you call it, rhetoric is once again inciting violence, as reports emerge that an Indiana man has been arrested for making death threats against Elon Musk. And the suspect, who is reportedly a deranged leftist, gee, is that redundant? Is that tautological? I don't know, you decide. He was inspired by the Democrats' relentless demonization of Trump and Musk, further proving that the left's rhetoric has real-world consequences. And for years, the radical left has encouraged chaos, from BLM riots to Antifa, and now they're turning their rage toward the Trump administration officials. These rat bastards have long operated with a double standard. They condemn political violence only when it suits their agenda or if it is directed towards them. And this latest arrest is just another example of how leftist radicalization is a growing threat to our democracy. Listen to this one. President Trump has now floated the idea. I love this. Floated the idea of a federal oversight over Washington, D.C. D.C., the city, highlighting, you got that Bowser, Muriel Bowser, highlighting the disaster that Democratic leadership has created in the nation's capital. See, once a symbol of American strength, D.C. has deteriorated under leftist rule, plagued by rampant, fetid, awful, rapacious, unending crime, homelessness, and corruption. Trump's suggestion is very simply this. Very simply, already sending the left into a meltdown as they realize their ability to run D.C. into the ground may soon come to an end. See, that was theirs. It was theirs. Marion Barry is like, we'll go back a little. See, the radical left has turned America's cities into war zones. And Trump is the only leader willing to take real action to clean up the mess that they've created. Oh my God, my friends. So many great things. Don't you feel good? Who feels great? Do you feel better? Do you feel better since I came on board? Do you feel better? Does Harris Faulkner ever make you feel like this? Or I don't even know who. It's hard to explain. It's incredible. So Ricardo, thank you. Gene Crane, Charlie Calais, Pilgrim Media, we love you, my friend. Spandex, Farscape, Raul Rodriguez, Howie Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. Thank you so much. Thank you for this. And if you like this, Saturday night at the cutting room, I'm going to be there. It's going to be this in space, like you cannot believe. My friends, I want to tell you this, and I want to bring this. I want you to understand this with all my heart. We are winning, and we can't do it without you, without this great president, and to continue this momentum, Thank you. Carla, the cookie CEO, says, I'm all for it. Every week, over $8,000 of my salary goes to taxes. No more feeding the beast. I know. And what do you have to show for it? What do you have to show for it? It's insanity. It's like you're feeding this tumor. But here's the thing. Why did it take this long? Because everybody beforehand has been involved. Bush? Did Reagan not know about this? Did Nixon? Do you think this is new? USAID started after Kennedy. This has been going on since day one, but that's over with, my friends. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for following. Please, I ask you, like this. Subscribe to Lionel Nation. Tell your friends. Have them join us in the morning. 9 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then videos during the day to intersperse and to pepper your intellectual landscape. Okay? You got it? Join us every day, my friend. Lionel Nation. Don't forget Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Oh, the work she's doing. She has one coming up called Vegas Concierge. You won't believe this woman she's talking. You won't believe these stories happening right here. And don't forget our other station, our other channel station, Lionel Legal. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. God bless America. God bless President Trump. And God bless you. Thank you. Have a great and glorious day. Don't forget these words. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.